Hey everyone, so I want to do a quick story time on how the ex-narc tried to derail my military career. And I want to start off by saying the ex-narc and I were in the military together. He actually decided to get out for whatever reason, and ever since then he had been talking about how much he regretted that decision, that he wished he was back in, and he actually tried to get back in. So all that to say, narcissists hate to see you go above and beyond them, and they are very jealous, conniving, hateful people, evil at that. So moving on to the story. So I'm just minding my business as a military admin personnel working in a hospital, and the first shirt just happens to be shooting a breeze in the hallway, and he stops by and does some small talk with me. So, I'm just kind of sitting there, taking a break, listening to what he had to say. And he starts talking about my husband at the time, the ex-narc. And he starts to say how unhappy he was dealing with him because they had to play on the same softball team. And he just said he could not stand the man. Like, he was not holding back at all. And I was a little perplexed because I'm like, I was still in the fog of trying to defend this man, and, he was my spouse. You want to stick up for the person that you chose to marry and be your ride or die, supposed to be. And I was still in that fog of defending the ex-narc, even though he had done so much and so many things to prove that I shouldn't have been. And so the first shirt comes down, and he's like, it's just ridiculous, how vain this person is. And mind you, this is just a small part of, the first shirt's life that he gets to spend with the ex-narc. So if he only spent that, those few hours a week with this person, the ex-narc, how do you think I felt going home to this demon? So I'm just like sitting there listening to him, and after he states how much he despises, the ex-narc, he goes to say that the ex-narc, my husband at the time, was going upstairs with recordings, voice recordings, of me screaming and yelling at him. Yeah, he was basically secretly recording me after needling me to death, like just pushing my buttons and pushing my buttons and pushing my buttons until I just exploded. And I am not that person to get upset easily. It takes a lot. It takes a whole lot. And I'm just kind of like sitting there in shock and wondering, like, what day, night, or situation was it that he happened to catch on audio to share with, my higher ups, like, and who would do that? He goes on to say that it was the commander himself, and I want to say the chief involved, and that the ex-narc held meetings with, and I want to say he said that he came up like 2 or 3 different times. And during the last time he came up there, the first shirt, and thankfully they all knew me well enough to know that that's not my personality, and that something must have really horribly happened for me to go off the way I did verbally on the ex-narc. So thankfully they picked up on it and realized that it's a really sick thing that one, someone's spouse would do that, and two, that he asked the ex-narc, what are you trying to get out of this? Like, what do you want done? I mean, he said, I even told him, what she's yelling and screaming at you about doesn't really sound any different than what I do at home, between my wife and I. So not really feeling where you're going with this. And so, the first shirt actually said, I told him, or asked him, did you happen to catch anything on the audio clip, you know, what you said or did to make her feel the way she did at that time or go off on you at that time? And he said, no, I didn't happen to catch that. And the first shirt said, I quickly told him, do not show your face up here ever again. Do not come up here with that nonsense. And basically, you know, the ex-narc left with his tail tucked between his legs and disappeared like the coward he is. I mean, narcissists all act the same, no matter which, you know, gender or race or whatever. It's almost like they all go to the school of narcs or something. I don't know. It's scary. But yeah, narcissists are cowards. And so when someone picks up on how insane and messy they are and calls them out on it, they just kind of disappear like an evil ghost or spirit into the abyss, you know? And so it just was just a horrible time to be going home. Like I never said anything to the ex-narc about it. I just had to play nice and act like everything was everything, and, you know, while still holding this information within. And just, you know, it was when my eyes were slowly but surely being awakened or open to just how evil this person was and still is. And they will do anything to destroy you, even if you're, you know, supposed to be the love of their lives, you know, as a spouse or whatever. These people are not your friends. They are not your spouses. They are not anything. They are there to steal, kill, and destroy, just like Satan himself. I like to say they're Satan's little henchmen because they act just like their father. So I just wanted to share that just to let you all know reactive abuse is real, and what a narcissist will do just to, you know, paint you in a bad light or to get the heat off of them for whatever reason, if you try to call them out on something, or just because they feel like doing it, period. They will antagonize you to the point where you basically lose yourself like a regular human would do. You get past a certain point of normalcy and fight back, whether it's physically or emotionally. And these jokers know exactly how to do that. And they are committed to doing whatever they have to do to get you there while hiding their hands. So they're the ones throwing the stones, hiding their hands, and saying, you know, look everyone, look how crazy this person is. They're raging and crying and screaming and saying something's happening to them when obviously there's nothing going on, you know, and smirking and laughing within, saying, you know, if these people only knew, including the victim. So be careful out there, you all. Just do not be so quick to jump into these relationships. Give it time. You know, get to know people, because narcissists, they can only hold on to their mask for so long before, you know, the real them is revealed. And when you start seeing the red flags, please, please, please go. Like HG Tutor, one of the awesome YouTubers that happens to be a narcissist / psychopath. He admits to that, but has very, very good content to share regarding the red flags to look for. Like he says, once you know, you go. Do not look at red flags, see them for what they are, and run for the hills. Cut them off. Poof, be gone. So thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope that you all stay narc free and continue to get educated on how devious and manipulative these evil people are.